Synergy Credit Union and the Lloydminster and District Co-op have come together to make a generous donation to our regional archives this morning. The total donation of $5,000 is expected to benefit the curling community and recognize the Lloydminster archives as an important resource for history.
It's also nice to be able to show what the archives has in its collection, and we hope to add to the collection as well. And with the support of the co-op and the Synergy, we will be able to do that.
There will be a display celebrating local curlers in conjunction with the Pinty's Grand Slam taking place this fall.
We're going to look at curlers through the ages, the teams that they were on. The route to the Briar is one of the main focuses.
The exhibit will be held at the new Synergy Credit Union building from October 24th to 28th and is free to the public. Well, the Lloydminster Off-Road Riders Club took home most of the hardware Sunday at the Saskatchewan Moto Cross Provincial Series. 4 wins and 11 top 4 finishes are some of the highlights spread around the various age categories. Junior rider Brandon Bailey placed first and third in the MX2 and MX1 events and is happy about the pace he's on this season.
Pretty good, yeah. First in one of the classes right now, so 5 races after today, 5 more this year, yeah.
Track veteran Charity Bachman made her debut this season after taking time off from work, but had no trouble winning the ladies' title.
If you have a good start, then it's easier to stay up there. You don't have to fight your way back, so got the whole shot from the start and went from there.
The next series stop is in Raymore on July 23rd. Well, Colonial Days kicks off this week and the setup is underway. The much-anticipated summer attraction hits the border city on Wednesday, and this year you can expect some new rides.
We've brought the Bumblebees and the Zipper and the Cliffhanger and the Berry-Go-Round.
But if you feel like to stick with what you're already familiar with, the Ferris wheel and many other fair classics are making a comeback.
The Tilt-A-Whirl and the Ring of Fire and the Wacky Worm roller coaster.
If your stomach can't handle the rides, you can fill it by eating at one of the 14 food vendors or hitting up one of the 50 games. You can get a sneak peek at the event tomorrow at 7 p.m. for Toonie Tuesday, where gate admission only $2. With schools closed for the summer, you're going to see a lot more kids out enjoying the good weather. In this week's edition of Retrospect, Brian Lentz shows us how police have been urging pedestrian safety for decades.
With school out for the summer, this is a common sight on Lloydminster streets. Local children are climbing on board their two-wheelers to propel themselves on their latest tour of the neighborhood. But RCMP say if they aren't careful, it could be their last adventure.
There's a lot of zigging out of traffic and from in behind parked vehicles. Just take the time to take a look before they merge with vehicular traffic, because bikes are going to lose every time.
RCMP say horse playing is the biggest problem. For example, this boy was so busy watching the camera he ran right into a nearby fence. Then just moments later, he and his friend cut right out in front of traffic. What about no hands? Police say safety is too often forgotten.
20 years later, and after a recent tragic accident in the city, police continue to stress the importance of street safety.
Unfortunately, it is something that we do see from time to time, especially during the summer months, where collisions can occur with pedestrians. It's something that we try and take actions to prevent and try to inform people of the dangers and the risks that are there.
Constable Kersinger adds there is safety in numbers, and kids should travel to and from a park with a guardian or friends, and always watch for vehicles.
Sometimes if you're playing with a ball or different things like that, it might go into the street and kids' first reaction is to just run out and grab it. We want to try and make sure that kids slow down and think about it before they go out into streets.
And he says it's not just kids who need to be careful.
We just want to remind people that kids are going to go to playgrounds at schools during the summer months. So really slow down, take that extra couple kilometers off to give yourself more of a reaction time. It's not going to take a whole lot of time off of your commute or wherever that you're going. It's always worth it to slow down.
That's all for Retrospect. I'm Brian Lentz.
And as that dry heat continues with no end in sight for BC, it's a different story back here at home. But local fire officials are still urging residents to practice fire safety. Lloydminster is not under any fire restrictions due to the level of humidity currently being experienced. If you're camping or enjoying a fire in your backyard, you should never leave it unattended, and be aware that even though it may look extinguished, there could still be an open flame. The remainder of the summer is predicted to be quite dry. It's important to check if there's a fire ban in effect before igniting. And people can escape the summer heat by turning on the air conditioning in their cars, but once they leave the vehicle, the temperature can rise in moments. The city is reminding residents it's not just children who shouldn't be left behind, but pets as well. If an animal is left behind in a hot vehicle, police have the authority to take action.
If it is in distress, the officer would take immediate steps to remove it and seek medical attention for the pet. If there's an opportunity, the officer will seek to find the owner and have an opportunity for a teaching moment.
Broadwell adds owners could face fines or more at the municipal or provincial level for putting their pets in danger.
And under the bylaw, there could be a $300 or $1,000 fine, depending on whether we feel that it's intentional harm or not. And under the Animal Protection Act, there could be a significant fine and potentially a jail.
On average, 15 to 20 pets are rescued from vehicles in Lloydminster every year.
This is Newcap Sports.
Putting on the gloves and stepping into the ring can be a daunting experience, but not for one local boxer. As Brittany Matika explains, this week's Athlete of the Week was hesitant at first to take up the sport.
5 months ago, if you had told Emil Smith he'd be entering a boxing ring for a matchup, he would have thought you were crazy. The 18-year-old wasn't interested in picking up the gloves until he came to the Lloydminster Boxing Club.
My mom made me come down. I didn't want to come down, but she's like, "Emil, you're going to boxing." So now I'm like, "No, Mom, I don't want to go to boxing," but she made me come down and fell in love with it.
Well, he's a hardworking young fella, that's for sure. He loves boxing, and he's usually one of the first guys down here every night, and I don't think he's missed a class since we started, so he's definitely devoted to boxing.
What started out as an activity to keep him out of trouble has changed his weekly routine.
Devin got me eating right, and chicken and rice, he said. That's it. That was for the first couple months, and then dropped 20 pounds from that and working out. Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. Tuesdays and Wednesdays, you got heavy duty workout for most of the class, and then Wednesdays is your like for competitive fighters.
The novice boxer had his third fight in Fort McMurray, bringing home a belt to the club.
They matched me up with a 35-year-old heavyweight. I didn't know what to expect. I looked this guy up on Facebook, and he looked like a tough guy to beat. So, which he was. It went all 3 rounds and took it in the decision. So
he does really well. He's got a lot of head movement. He moves a lot for a big fella, or for a heavyweight, I guess. It's just his movement is what makes him such a good boxer.
I want to drop a whole weight class this summer. Get fighting some kids my age.
Smith graduated high school in June and is pursuing a career as a heavy-duty technician, but he doesn't plan on leaving the ring anytime soon.
I want to see how far Devin can take me, see if he can get me to the Saskatchewan team and maybe Team Canada. See how far we go.
Definitely challenges him, and he likes fighting. He'll fight anybody. There's no doubt about that. Doesn't matter how old you are, he'll fight you.
Brittany Matika, Newcap Sports.
We're exactly 3 weeks away from a major baseball event in the border city, and preparations are nearing completion for the U18 National Fastball Championships. Many of the nation's top female players will compete for a chance at Canadian fastball supremacy when the tournament begins July 31st. Our Lance Phillips caught up with a man whose name is well known Canada-wide, not just for baseball, despite the fact he's coached U18 in Edmonton for the past 6 seasons.
We've had a great relationship with Lloyd, and we picked up Lloyd girls to go to championships, and they would pick up Michaela a lot to go to championships. And I guess that's one of the main reasons that, from my point of view, we're here in Lloyd playing this year is simply the structure, the coaching, the U18 coaching staff, I feel, is the best in Alberta.
The greatest opportunity for players at the tournament isn't just the chance to play top-level ball, but rather to play the sport in front of some very serious people, scouts.
What a great opportunity. Can you imagine as a kid to be able to play the sport you love and go down south on a full ride or close to a full ride and learn about life. Oh, what a situation. And that's what a lot of the kids that play with the liners at the U18 level, that's where they're trying to go, because with Brett Harvey coaching, you've got that opportunity.
Although Martin isn't coaching this year, he's played the role of cheerleader and has enjoyed every minute of his and the team's journey.
It's been a terrific experience. The Lloyd liners do work their girls hard. That's why they're well respected in Alberta ball. You know, you work the girls hard, you got great coaching, and in the end, you end up being a really good player.